Hello, my beautiful people. How are we tonight? Hey, this is your favorite auntie, Auntie Ya. I welcome you to Auntie Ya's Book Corner. And today is Auntie Ya's Cozy Book Chat. So before we start, I'm going to finish sharing to groups and then we'll come back. I trust you're having a good month of December so far. It's also running, because it's already oops. It's already what is today's date again? The 5th. If you went to church or whatever it is that you are doing the rest of this day, I trust that it is going well with you. Let's see. Okay, let me go share to some friends and then we'll see. Oh yeah, there's always this one person that. Okay, let me find Mr. I'm quiet because I told you I can't share and talk at the same time. So, hello, Miss Aisha. I hope you are well. How's the family doing? How is your December going so far? Going crazy over Christmas? So, hey, we're going to start. Now, today we are talking about, if I can find my banners. Our main topic today is all about beauty. Actually, I wanted to put it as, what do you call it? Is beauty everything? But I remember, this social media dynamic. Sometimes you put a topic or a wedding, put it a certain way, and then they come after you that it doesn't, it's not in line with their community guidelines. They did it to me before on one of the topics. So this is why I just put all about beauty. It's, you almost have to be. Oh, thank you. You always have to be very, particular about how you phrase things. My goodness, when did we become such a politically correct environment or society? But I guess rules are rules. You have to follow them, I suppose. So this here is based on page 177 of the book, talking about cultivating your inner beauty. So it led me to ask the question that, is beauty everything? So today we're going to talk about it because we all have different dimensions of how we look, how we feel about beauty. There's pluses and there's minuses. So we're just going to dig deep. And the subtopic, that's where I put in, is beauty everything? So I just start by saying that, society seems to set a lot of store by beauty. I mean, you and I, we're all busy primping and preening. Like, okay, if you take myself, I'm coming here to do a program. Of course, I'm not going to come and sit here in my pajamas and I know we say, we come as we are, we feel comfortable, this and that, that's fine. But on the main, we are talking of, you are going to work online, there's a meeting. Obviously, you're not just going to appear anyhow. So it leads me to believe that grooming is important. I mean, we all like to look good and feel good. And I say that we all come at beauty from different dimensions because when you bring church matters in, it even becomes a different story. Some would like to tell you that it's a sin to dress up and be this and be that. But look, this is how I look at it. We're all, God's creations. We're supposed to feel good about ourselves. How you present yourself in life is very, very important. Sadly, we've twisted and turned it to become something else. But I'll leave it to you with you that on an individual level, presentation is key. You need to feel good about yourself. Feeling and looking good does not mean you become vain. I'm not talking about vanity, no. Those ones, they are a classic case. We put them to the side. We'll address them when they do come up. But any human being has to take pride and delight in your appearance. Of course, you don't want to become, what do you call it? That's the term. Is it the narcissism? There was some creature in the olden days, the Greek mythology, who kept staring at themselves in the mirror, staring at themselves, just falling in love with themselves. You know, we're not talking about that. Yes, we're talking about healthy, self-esteem, healthy confidence. If you're a confident person, you present yourself well. So then again, I ask, okay, so what is all the fuss about? Is beauty that important? And so then we have to ask, what is beauty? And I go, what is beauty anyway? So this is the definition that I got: a combination of qualities such as shape, color, or form that pleases the aesthetic senses, especially the sight, or the pleasing or attractive features of something. So we're talking about physical appearance as you see me right now, or the first time you see somebody. What impression do you get, or what impression do they give? Hello, Ajua. Greetings and more grace to you. Our author Bakope. Hey, Ajua, author Bakope. Oh yeah, meeting the beautiful, knowledgeable, inspirational sister you have for that, along with all the lovely friends as well as the viewers on the platform. Akwaba, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, so the definition that I gave, it leads you to believe that it's physical. You know, we have this thing, we say that men are very physical. So, you know, you hear it. It's, I don't know whether I should call it an urban myth or what, but they tell you that if you're not looking good and pleasing to the eye, you leave your husband to go run around doing stuff. I mean, everything seems to be on the woman, but if the man too doesn't want to look good and pleasing to the eye, doesn't he think his wife too is looking? Not that I'm advocating it, but to me, in my mind, what is good for the goose is good for the gander. Let's all be fair, honest, and trustworthy with each other. But, you know, we all have to do what we have to do to take care of ourselves. But carrying on. So the next question that I ask here is, expressions of beauty. Like, what are some of the terms that people use to describe beauty? They go, oh, appealing. Somebody is appealing, you know, or attractive, inviting. We use those terms like charming, you know, radiant, alluring, cute, elegant. Yes. You know, there are times Aisha says, not everything is about beauty. If it seems like everything is about feminine beauty, it is because men are not satisfied with what they see. Thank you, my dear sister. That is it right there. Thank you. Ajua says, thanks, and God richly bless you for all that you do, sis. Thank you, Ajua. So, expressions of beauty, you know, like, you know something? For me, I think in my mind or in my world, I'll say that if we're talking only about physical beauty as the most important attribute of a person, then I'm saying, no, that is not it. Because I'll tell you this, and I say this with a qualifier because I haven't created a human being before. There are some people, when you see them, it's not that they may not be extraordinary or, you know, in our world, in our minds, how we view beauty. But you know what? They have a particular charm. Just the way they speak, the way they interact, the way they love you. They just draw you into their space, and they are so welcoming. You know that. So that tells you that there's more to a human being than their physical features. It's what is in their heart that comes out, the way they love people, the way they treat people. Look, I'll tell you something. Sometimes even, you know, we're talking about women here. So when you're on the train, those days, it seems like centuries ago since I went on the train to go to work. I mean, I do go here and there to go pick up IT stuff, but when we were working, you get on the train. So, everybody is all dressed up going to work. And there was the one time, I think I was coming home from work, and this lady, I was sitting this way, so she was facing me, but she had her head down and she's smiling. She must have been reading or something. And I kept, I know, well, I was taught that it's rude to stare. She wasn't looking at me, but for me, if I see somebody and I find them attractive, oh, they look very nice, they are looking beautiful, you're admiring them, I try not to stare, like, be, the Bushiatic manner. You look at them, there's a word for it, but I can't pronounce it. Surreptitiously, you look at them like you don't allow them to see you, but you glance at them quickly, you take your eyes off, you glance. And I'm looking at this lady, and I'm not saying she's not beautiful, but what I'm trying to say is that what I saw in her face was, to me, a reflection of what I knew to be in her heart. She looked so peaceful, so serene, just the aura that she gave off, even with her head bent down, doing whatever. So I'm looking at that, and if she hadn't spoken to me, she hadn't done anything, but I could see it all in her face. So I thought to myself, wow, that is a beautiful woman. And I'm not talking of the kind of beauty that meant, oh, this woman, she's fine, or I'm going to, no. Like, I could tell that there was something there. And then, of course, when we talk of the other side, there are women too who are only interested in their looks. And I'm going to read something from another part of the book because it just came to me, or I just thought about it. If I can find it. So it's I think it's on page 33. God sees you in your brokenness. So there's a particular woman. Yes, let me read it. She's the siren, Siren, whose only hope appears to be her beauty. Yes, that woman who, for whatever reason, is caught in the trap of alluring men with her beauty because she feels that is the only option she has. He sees you and knows you are more than your beauty. You are more than enough. So yes, there are some women, and even I would say that probably even in the environment we come from, the African culture, the Ghanaian culture, woman is taught to beautify herself. There's all kinds of rituals and whatever's that you have to go through. Oh, as for a woman, you have to always make yourself enticing to be pleasing the man and this and that. But there are some who are too focused on outer beauty. It's to the point of vanity and shallowness, right? Because to me, to my mind, and I'll keep saying this, there's a piece that I wrote in what do you call it? Reflections for a Thirsty Soul about Esther, beauty and brains. Even Esther cried. I had problems with how they just swooped them up and went to put them in a harem, but who am I, right? So beauty and brains can go together. There's got to be more to you than just your looks. Look, there are men who want women that they can engage with, have healthy discussions. They even love it when you can challenge them because they are not always right. We are learning from each other after all. Yes. So if you have a woman who is just empty, all they think about is their looks and they can't even carry a conversation, well, that is another story. And I mean, if that's how, it's an individual choice. If that's how you want to be, that is fine. But at the end of the day, is that all you want to recommend you? That, oh, she's beautiful. Oh, she cooks well. Oh, excuse me to say she's good in bed. Is that all? So, we need to examine some of these things because we have young ladies coming after us that we are raising, and we have to teach them to be well-rounded. Yes. I may not be beautiful, but how I present myself is what is the determining factor in anything that I do. And when you're going for your job interviews, they're not looking at beauty, they're looking at your qualifications and what you bring to the table. So some of these things, yes, we have to talk about. Oh, Ajua, sorry, Aisha says true beauty is the one people have inside them. Your outer beauty is only equal to your inner beauty. If you have a kind heart, then a beautiful appearance is just a plus to inner beauty. Thank you. Thank you. You've nailed it. That is it. And like these sirens that we have around, if you have a daughter that you are raising, is that how sadly a lot of women are raising their daughters that way, that oh beauty, entice the man with your beauty, oh this or that. But hey, one day you'll get to be up there, and what are you going to say? Are you going to sink into a depression because age has caught up with you finally? No, you keep moving. You just keep moving. So next, let's talk about, what time do we have here? Let's talk about some of the oh, why can't I move this up? Okay, banners. Societal standards of beauty and its effects. So, it used to be even that people who look like Yenuma Yetihe, you wouldn't see us gracing the covers of magazines. And living in North America, what I see is, the pressure on women to be so thin. And so, the standards of beauty according to hairstyle, skin color, body size, even the hairstyle, with a kinky, like people show up to work with kinky hair and they get all kinds of comments, So it's just, it's outrageous. And when you are forced into this issue of being thin, it pushes you to do all kinds of things to yourself. A lot of people, a lot of young girls especially, are struggling with weight issues. Yes, I can't begin to tell you the extreme nature of it, like eating disorders and what have you, because of this pressure to constantly be something that you are not. What happened to just being yourself? Sometimes we have to spend time giving the right messages to our young girls that they are enough. It doesn't matter if you are tall, short, thin, squat, whatever. Like I have my youngest daughter, she's very slim, very, very slim. And it bothers her. She tries to do things to put on weight, this and that. But I remember that I said, look, it's a family thing. I think it may be from her dad's side, because I know she has a cousin who at that age, in the teens when we saw her, she was also very thin. Now she's married with children and she's not that structured anymore. You just have to be happy with who you are. Like me, I used to be very self-conscious about being tall when I was back home in Ghana, because people would make you feel awkward about it. But then later you realize that a lot of them were men and maybe they were intimidated, or sometimes they like you. I've given that example of that boy who was circling me and saying, you are too tall. And me being a silly, when you're a teenager, what do you know? So later I thought about it. I'm like, oh yeah, that was his problem. So why did I take it on, And because we don't know how to verbalize, or we're not in tune with our emotions, we don't express it very well. And so we say things and we hurt people and we demean people. I've mentioned in one of my programs before of going to a program 2 years ago of a friend whose mother had passed away. And there was this young girl, probably about 8 or 19, and another lady that I know in that community, she's, we all know she's, the loud, brash people. So the girl passes by. This 9-year-old girl is shaped, hourglass shaped like an adult. Then she pokes the girl and says to her, where are you going with this? Can you imagine? And I thought to myself, oh no, did she just say that to this poor child? So how will this child feel? She's got a lovely structure, but you are saying that to her. So as she's growing up, and of course, where are we? Yet so she'll go into the classrooms and she'll see these pencil thin whoever's, right? And then she'll also be in a what do you call it? Being how do I even explain? The pressure will be on. Yes. Some of these girls, they don't even eat. Yes, they don't eat. Oh, thank you, Auntie. A young girl passed away because she traveled to go under the knife and she never returned home just because she wants to be size 10 with a big behind. Her mom is, oh my goodness, that is awful. That is awful. Size 10 with a big behind. Oh, it's just, I don't know, like, I really don't know what is going on anymore, because it seems like we're called upon to be more aware and alert. Like you can't be with your children 24/7 or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. But it's calling for an awareness to be in tune with them, to figure out what is going on with them. Because we can be so busy that we miss it. And it's the same here in my house. You have to be, hey, what's going on? Hey, this. Sometimes they don't want to tell you, but you need to sense or see when things are going on. But for me, the physical thing, oh no, no. I've always said, right, like even the pressure, this, what we're talking about, this beauty thing, I'll bring in another aspect of it. I always talk about why is it that every time you see, hello, Miss Age, nice to have you. I hope you're doing well. Why is it that men are always dressed to the hilt, covered up, and then you see women in all stages of undress? It's the long slit with the leg showing or the breast popping out or what have you. And I would call it objectifying women. It's almost like we have to do that to survive. But thankfully, I've always made this comment. I said, I have 2 young adult ladies in my house, but I have never seen them in that stage of undress. They dress decently, they dress nicely, and it's not anything that I ever told them. Of course, when you are grooming girls, you say, hey, this, hey, that, but they know it's just not something that they do. And yet they feel good about themselves. They take pride in how they appear and all that. But I don't know. Sometimes I see certain young ladies and I go, okay, did your mother not see this when you were leaving? Like, I don't know. And yet, as I sit here, you know what? In the free society in which we live today, somebody will sit here and say, oh, she's condemning people or she's judging people. And it's like, but I don't know, right? I mean, we have choices. Anybody can do whatever they like. But when it's to the point now where 9-year-olds and 11-year-olds are being forced to dress a certain way, then tell me that we don't have a problem. Ajua says a lot of people do not understand true beauty comes from the inside with kindness, compassion, honesty, graceful, loving, caring gestures, empathy, acceptance of their existence, and many positive aspects which reflect the outer beautiful without abusing the body. Thank you, Ajua. You have said it all. I think you have answered our last question. Yeah. No, it's very, the effect of all this, even when you talk about skin color, I used to, oh, Aisha, thank you. We don't have to be naked to be beautiful. I find it so disturbing. Like, it's just, it's like even talking about this hairstyle. I make this joke. There was a lady who was one of my directors. Summertime, people love to get a tan. So one time she saw me and she was like, Ajua, that's where I was going. Ajua, I was going there. I was coming there, pa. So she made this comment about, like she was very tan. So she said she's almost like looking like me. And so we were laughing and I said, yes, isn't it interesting that we are not happy? Nobody is happy because white people want to tan and get darker, and then dark people are bleaching. Ajua, thank you. The bleaching, like it's a form of self-hate. Because look, for me, it's like one day this week, I was telling one of my daughters that I was on Clubhouse and I was looking at all the pictures of people, and I go, oh, and it hit me that I said, oh, I'm the darkest one on here. And I said, wow, that's interesting. I mean, like, people are light, but the thing about it is that people bleach to the point even that they are bleaching their kids. And so is bleaching going to, oh, okay, Ajo, I see what you mean. Is bleaching going to make you feel better about yourself? Is it going to make you white? Like, what is the deal with that? Like, I don't understand how I can see somebody with a fair face complexion and then their hands are as dark as my face. Like, I don't get it. It looks so incongruous. Like, I'm like, what? Don't we see? You know? Miss H says self-confidence is very important. When there's lack of it, we tend to depend on different people's opinions of us to make us feel good. Bam, bam, bam. Thank you. It is true. If you don't know who you are, somebody from the outside is going to tell you. And that can lead to a lot of tragedy. So this bleaching thing that we are talking about, like, what is the problem? What is the problem? Look, a long, long time ago, some friend gave me a cream and I didn't even know what it was. Then later on, I started to see that either my face or my neck, part of it was patchy, like, and I said, what was in that thing? And they said, and I said, I don't do that. No, like, I didn't even know what it was, right? If I knew, I wouldn't have. And this person used to do that. And I said, for me, all I think I need is a good cream for my face. At the time, I used to put baby oil, but now I just use shea butter, like, you know. So you find something, you find something. Aisha, you're making me laugh. Auntie, yeah, we call it Fanta face, Coca-Cola body. Black is beautiful. It is so sad. It is so, so sad. But you know, we forget the consequences of all this. Bleaching. Doesn't the layer of the skin thin? It thins away. Like, some people have done it so much that even their cheekbones are black. And then this, you know, so if, say, something, God forbid, something drastic happens, like an accident or whatever, you have to have surgery. Is there enough skin? Like, what's going to happen? Like, I don't know, right? So, like, why is that our idea of beauty? Or is it just a yeah, be before with that inferiority complex? So we want to be something else? You know, a lot has gone on, a lot has been said, but you don't need to take that in and put it in your soul and say that because of who the outer society says that I am, I should cover up so that I'm accepted, or for whatever reason. Be yourself, be your natural self. For whatever you do, be your natural self. There's nothing wrong with anybody. I remember one time I went to cut my hair. It was this guy from one of these African countries, a barber shop. So I'm sitting there, and there's some guy in the corner. I didn't even look at him. Have the audacity to say, oh, as for us, we don't cut hair. As for us, we like the hair. And I'm thinking, yeah, alrighty. You like the fake hair and all this stuff, but I'm cutting my own hair. You are coming to make, like, you know, Africans, we feel that we have to talk everybody's business. I didn't look. I did not even look at him. I didn't even give him an answer. Increase the volume regarding those who pose naked for attention, which also reflect on their insecurity. I have no idea. I really don't know. I'm not sure what all that means. But let's take a break and then come back and continue, shall we? And let me know how is the discussion going so far on beauty? Is it hitting all the points, or are there some points that need to come up? Just throw them in the comments, please. Meanwhile, I'm trying to find. Okay, let's go. So there it is, The Beauty of a Woman's Heart. You can find that on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles worldwide. It's a good book, a good read. There's a friend of mine I know from an old church that I went to. So last 2 weeks ago, she got a copy and then she asked for 3 more copies to give to other people. So today, the other lady and my friend, we were talking. My friend tells me, oh, she's feeling very encouraged. She says, oh, the book is very encouraging. Thank you. And I thought, okay, that is what I like to hear. So I was so pleased that it is blessing somebody. I mean, sometimes we go through life, we don't bother to ask ourselves the hard questions. Some of the stuff that we're talking about is like that. Maybe in our youth, at some point in time, we were also bleaching our face, kakra kakra or something. Then you get older and you go, hey, this is not acceptable. This can't be done. I mean, I'd rather have a soap that will help me not have zits or acne or whatever, but not to bleach my face. So we need to kind of be proud of who we are and encourage the younger ones also to believe in themselves, because whatever we are doing, they are watching and they learn. Yes. So, let's not harm them by some of the habits that we have formed. So continuing on, I was getting carried on. Hello, Abigail. Welcome. Thank you. How are you doing? I hope you and the family are doing well. So I was digressing and missing some of the key points that I want to hit, but we were talking about bleaching, so that's one of them. So, when we were talking about the children, like, this tragic example that Aisha gave of somebody going under the knife and all that, some of these girls too, because they want to be thin, because the society is dictating that, they sink into depression, mood swings, anxiety, and the eating disorders that I mentioned. So there's a lot going on because of pressure to be something on a magazine, that you've seen on a magazine cover. How about you just believe in yourself? There's a particular, well, maybe even if I say it, I may give it away, but sometimes I see people, who are celebrities in our part of the world here, and because I know the standard, in quotes, pencil thin, excuse my language, maybe anorexic looking, whatever, when I see a celebrity who is a healthy size, like a plus size and a healthy person, then I start to think in my mind that, oh, I wonder what they must be going through, because there's so much pressure. And is it worth it? Like, at the end of the day, when you get into some of these industries, I guess it comes at the cost of yourself, all of yourself, your mind, yourself, whatever. If you are not strong enough, you'll get caught in it and pay for the consequences. This, when we're talking eating disorder, it is not a joke. People eating, throwing up, all kinds of things. It's just, I don't know. And then coming back to the bleaching, this colorism, shaming, even it's when you get into the history of the US, and I can't say that I have on any broad scale, but just general highlights that I know. Even in families, the darker you are, oh, you have nappy hair, you have this, the lighter skinned ones, or passing. There's something called passing. One of my daughters said it's a movie. I think Aisha mentioned it before. It's a movie on, oh, okay, good to hear, good. There's a movie on Netflix called Passing, like people who are passing as white. And so if, I guess what I'm going to say is that, is the black race so, that nobody wants to be black? And so the more lighter you are, the better you are, the closer you are to what is deemed to be the norm or the fit. Like, there's different people, the different races. We can't all be clones of each other. We are made perfectly. Like, you're not going to tell me to not believe in myself. No. And I'm not going to tell you to not believe in yourself. At the end of the day, we're all human beings. It's called humanity. So we should stop this shaming and, the bleaching things and all these things. A whole industry has been created around it, and we're falling prey to it. And I should talk. I'll say this with a qualifier to my sisters. Because for me, until I was in the same boat, until I told myself I'm not going to anymore. Like when how do you call it? I used to have to go and find somebody to do my hair for me and this and that. But think about it. We don't want to deal with our hair because it's too thick, it's too this, it's too that. These are all concepts of beauty that we're talking about. So if you cut your hair, oh, blah, blah. I remember I said I walked into a store, a lady who used to do my daughter's hair, and she goes, "Oh, so you didn't do anything with your hair?" Because my hair was short, and then somebody standing by laughing, and you don't know me, and you are laughing. I just looked at her and I said, "Yeah, I want God to recognize me. This is what I came with. So what do you want me to do? You are laughing because you have artificial hair on your hair, so that makes you better than me, who has my own hair." It's been it's been 9 years now. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's easy for me, so that's what I'll do. Yeah. And I mean, we all do whatever we have to do. Don't get me wrong. I know the hair is hard to deal with, but it's not an excuse for us to hate ourselves anyway. Yeah. Whenever you do, people will take about it. Thin, big, rich, poor, married, singles, get rich, Sikadru. Mr. G, what about poor, witchcraft, married, husband? Oh, equals, oh, okay, Sikadru, something equals Sikadru, poor. What's the media more drew? Ugly, foodie. Okay. Whatever you do, people will talk about it or take about it. Mr. G. Adjua says some people are so ignorant due to illiteracy and pure stupidity. I don't know. It's, like we need to do better. So beauty standards, yeah. Yeah. I wanted to define it and I didn't. Beauty standards, you listen to this, are the individual qualifications women are expected to meet in order to embody the feminine beauty ideal. And the feminine beauty ideal is in quotes. That is the definition I saw on the internet. So think about it. You are forcing yourself to fit somebody's idea of what they think you should be. See, where is that getting us? Some of these things that we brought up, it could take 2 hours to talk about because I don't understand it. It's like even in families, so there's a dark skinned one, there's a light skinned one, and then the person who's light skinned gets treated. Do you know that there are some people that for some reason, their children are a mix, or they have dark children and they have light children, and they treat the light skinned ones better than the dark skinned ones? So I don't understand, like all this beauty, right? We're talking about beauty. So some of these things, the mindset has to address, like we have to change something. For me, I'm thinking that you should see humanity. If somebody is standing in front of you, you have to see a human being. You don't have to see black or red or whatever face. Like me, I always say that I don't see color till you bring it up. If you want to act weird, then we're done. But otherwise, for me, because how I put it is that sometimes even people outside of your own race, they are nicer and more friendly than your own kind. I have to put it out there. That is the real truth. Because I'll say this in tree. It me di abrofo aten abrofo to say meanwhile to your chrome. And you could learn some of their values to better yourself. This is what I've always said, that I took the good values out of my upbringing in Ghana. I threw away the bad ones and I picked the good ones from here. And that's how I live. Because you can't tell me that, I don't know. It's if I get started, we won't finish today, but a lot of the things that we're doing, it doesn't make any sense, or this is not a beauty topic related comment, even just that mindset of this is a child, this is an adult, and then we bring it here, and if you come here and you are raising children and you don't know how to talk to them, you don't know how to interact with them, you don't know how to deal with them, you get yourself into a whole whack of trouble, because what will happen is either you do something and the system will get them, or the advice that, oh, you're penning to, you are not watching and advising them about the different stages of life they are going through or what's going on out in the bigger world. No, they'll go get advice from people you don't want them to get advice from. Until we've covered our eyes and we don't want to deal with things like the proverbial you kind of saying putting how what's the term again, hiding your head in the sand, or yeah. So we've talked at length about the effects. As for the effects, maybe I've just touched on it, but we know it's very, it's very sad what is going on. A lot of people are not feeling good about themselves. A lot of people are not feeling good about themselves. I think when Lupito, what's her name again? Lupito Nyong'o came on, then came out. When the black girls started showing up, and go, wow, this, it's almost like, and I mean that shouldn't even define we're already here, but I'm talking about. I guess it seems like finally a bell went off or a light went on that hey, they are here, we're also here, or you go to work, your hair is a certain way, it's not acceptable. My hair is not straight. I was not born with straight hair. So this is what it is. Like we have these rules that don't favor some of us. So in our hurry to adapt, we do all kinds of crazy things, but it doesn't really help us. Sometimes all you need to do is just do some history lessons or some cultural lessons or whatever so people know who you are. But anyway, so the next thing then that we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about, where is it? Beauty redefined. And some of these points come from the book as we were talking about. The topic that this beauty, all about beauty relates to is cultivate your inner beauty on page 177 and on. So when I say beauty redefined, when we talk about beauty, we only think of the outside. Yeah, that's the first thing that comes to mind. But, and some of you have written this comment already. Beauty has a much deeper definition, actually, or interpretation. You can be physically attractive, but not beautiful from the inside. I think Ajua and Aisha both made that comment. And of course, I write in the book that a beautiful face with an empty mind is at best a shallow vessel. Look, I've known women who keep carry on about how beautiful they are, and all the men, yes, all the men are after her. Oh, she's so beautiful. And I'm thinking, wow, like, I can't understand why a person can be so vain. And the thing is, where is it going to take you? Yeah, so you are beautiful. So what should I do? Is that all? What else do you bring to the table? It's an important question I'm asking, but people think, like anybody who buys into this thing about, I only have to look beautiful, not for myself, but because of a man, you bought into the trap. Yeah, because it's just something that we were told, and we swallowed it hook, line, and sinker. A lot of women think that their main purpose on earth is to be beautiful, attract a man, and marry a man, or look, just go. That's all that they think about. But no, there's more to it. There's more to life than that. Beauty fades, So when your beauty fades, what are you going to do? Oh dear, I shouldn't laugh. Like you get to a certain age now, when I look under my neck, you start to see the stages of wrinkles and all that. But hey, I'm like, yeah, okay, at the age at which I am, it's expected to be there. So do I have the money to run and go and get it fixed? I don't care. I really don't. So, I mean, what are you going to do? There's stages of life, things change, and you have to put yourself in that mindset to embrace that change. Because if you are not prepared, you'll be blown away. Yes. So if you carry on and you're not developing yourself as you go through life, and your own focus, your main focus has been my beauty, my beauty, my beauty, what's going to happen is that you just become, what will be left will be a shell of yourself, just empty. And that emptiness, after a while, the thinking, and then you sink into a depression because you think that there's nothing more to live for. You are not worth anything, nothing more going on with you, stuff like that. Build yourself up along the journey. By all means, look beautiful. I'm not saying go around looking like an old hag. No, not at all. Most certainly take pride in yourself, but there's more to life than just being beautiful to snag a man. Let me tell you, women, that. Yes, because there are beautiful women who have men and the men are misbehaving. So it's not the end of the whatever. Or being in a relationship should not be your barometer for a successful life. If that is your barometer for a successful life, then I'm sorry, you've missed the boat. Yeah. So it's important. Adua raised some of those points in her last comment, to cultivate attributes like being gracious. Learn to be gracious. Yes. Learn to be humble. Some people, they are so rude, so proud, you can't even get, like, it's difficult. Yes, it's really difficult. Be kind, be gentle. When we say be kind, be gentle, it doesn't mean that turn the other cheek, roll over, and let people step all over you. That's not what we're talking about. But into your interactions with people, be able to extend grace to people, be kind, be gentle, be compassionate and loving, be a forward thinker. I said before, being beautiful for a man is not your barometer of success in life. Being a forward thinker. Look, I've remembered, I'm glad I said that. Yesterday, I'm going to digress. There are a few more points. Yesterday, I was watching Global News here, the news channel here at 7 o'clock on Saturdays. The anchor for the regular news, she does this show called The New Reality. And in The New Reality, there's this man, I think his name is Michael Lang, I could have it wrong. He's invented a DAB called, what is it called? The black fly. It's like a car that flies. He started working on this from 2011 in his garage. His garage, started building it up. I think in 2018 or 2019, he took his company to Silicon Valley. So they are kind of perfecting the model, perfecting it. And they are, I could see in the documentary, they were flying it and all kinds of things. But you know why I brought this topic up? I looked and I said, look at my fellow Abrofo. Adwene a year Juma is working hard, innovation, creativity. But you know what? There was this lady, two ladies, beautiful young ladies, yes. The first lady, she was, I think both of them were in mechanical engineering. And they said before they even finished their last exam, I think this guy approached them about coming to work for him. Oh, of course, they did. They hopped on. So one of them is now the director of operations. And like I said, she's a very beautiful girl, beauty and brains, And I was just excited watching that program because I thought, wow, to be in the midst of, on the precipice of such an invention coming out, a car that flies, and you are one of the engineers working it, doing testing it, tweaking it, doing this and that. And I said, yeah, but when you go to Mikrom, a man they think that is their tonga that they have to use. She's used her brains. Because of her skills, she got offered a job. So I'm saying that you can also do that. It's not all about beauty. I just used this example that I was so excited. I thought, wow, this is very impressive, these young ladies. Yeah. So Let's carry on with the attributes. So forward thinker, be a goal setter. Set goals for yourself. Don't sit around thinking that, oh, my beauty, I can run to this man, I can run here, I can run there. The best thing you can do for yourself is to stand on your own 2 feet and push and make something. You'll be prouder of yourself. Be a goal setter, be enterprising. Motivate yourself, inspire yourself, read, find something to do. Renew your mind daily. Add value to yourself. I told you beauty fades. When the beauty is gone, what will be left? Your brain will still be working. Use it for good. Use it to create and build something for you. Yes. And I say to that, do not stagnate. Don't stay in one spot. I'm focused on my beauty, my home, and that's all that you cry about. At the end of the day, who wants to be around somebody who's constantly talking about how beautiful they are? Because you always want to be the centerpiece, center of attraction, like nobody else is important. Increase your knowledge base. Learn. Take a course. Hey, these days courses are a dime a dozen. We are not saying go into the classroom and go and sit there for 10 years trying to get 20 degrees or whatever. No. Depending what your interest is, find something to do. There's courses, they are all over the place. So YouTube is a good place to be learning. These days, knowledge abounds. You only have to find it. Love yourself. Love yourself and then pour into others. Be a blessing. If you are just focused on yourself and your beauty, everything you do will only be in line with your beauty. Oh, this is happening. Oh, there's Botox. Oh, there's this. Sometimes my daughters will be watching these shows where people go in for plastic surgery or whatever, and then they go, Mom, come and see. And I'm thinking, okay. Excuse me, one time there was this Yanyonko Bibinibi that she went and did something, procedure, and then afterwards she dressing high society flyer, meeting her girlfriends at the club or something. And I'm Ifedi, and I said, oh, of course, birds of a feather. I mean, you have to keep up appearances, right? But at what cost? Yes, most certainly, at what cost? So yes, we've been here talking about beauty. So the main topic was all about beauty. And then the question I asked is beauty everything? We define beauty. Then we talked about expressions, the terms that we use to describe people. We've looked at societal standards of beauty and its effects, yes. And then beauty redefined. It's if you're a woman and you want to be something other than just focusing on your beauty, there's certain things, certain realizations that you have to come to, take a stand and then work your way. Because you can be beautiful and happily married and all that. At the end of the day, still you have to do something for yourself because you're not, it's not the man who's going to do everything for you. You also have to bring something to the table. So let's not let that be our focus so much. If we're not talking, this message is not only for women, really. We are talking to young girls and young boys because some of the pressures are coming from the male sex to the women. So if you are raising your child, your son, right, to honor and respect a woman and to know the value of a woman, they will not put some of these pressures on their girlfriends or spouses or what have you. So the education is for everybody, really. So with that, we are done the discussion. I'm going to take a break and then I'm going to use a few minutes to share about upcoming events or changes that are coming up in this on this platform. So let's go do that and then we'll be back. So that is Refreshing for My Weary Soul, which came out in October. And you can find it on Amazon, Amazon Worldwide, Innovi Books, and Barnes and Nobles. It is a devotional, a three-part devotion. It's full of nuggets and chunks that will bless you. And trust me, you'll be refreshed from reading it. So carrying on, let's see who is next. Ah, yes, it suddenly hit me that we are talking about beauty. So, the beauty of a woman's heart comes about when you've done all your inner work. Yes, we're not saying anybody is perfect. The inner work is never all done, but even taking the challenge to work on yourself is a step in the right direction. And what better book to help you than this here? It's chock full of nuggets. It's inspiring and very encouraging. So get your copy. It's Christmas time. So Amazon, Canada, UK, US, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Australia, and Japan, and also Innovi Books. It's on Barnes and Nobles as well. Okay, I'm reading the wrong one. It's but still the intent is there. Okay, last but not the least, let's do this one. So that is my first book, Reflections for a Thirsty Soul. You can get it on Friesen Press, Amazon, and also Google Books, iTunes, and what's the other one? Barnes and Nobles. Okay, so let me read some comments. Let's see. Ajwa says, real talk, and thank you for an insightful, productive program, sister. Thank you, author Bakope. Mr. G, thank you. Me, don't go. I have information for you. Miss H says, beauty like happiness is fleeting. Thank you. Do positive things that will sustain you in life. Thank you so much for that comment. That says it all. Okay, so we'll be able to her. Let's see. So Auntie Yaa'S Book Corner is on Christmas break after today. So today is the last program before the Christmas season. It's likely I'll be back the last but one or last week in January. So stay posted. Yes. Actually, I have put it here already. I'm making a change to the program. I'll be doing only one live a week, and it will be on Saturdays at 11 a.m., which is Mountain Standard Time, my time. So what it is that all three books I'll be using, I'll be doing that program at 11. What I'm finding is that I've been go, go, go for the last 2 years since Reflections came out last April, and it's time for a much needed break. I mean, what do you call it? I'm in pre retirement mode. So I have to slow down and prepare myself towards that. There's a lot of projects that I I have on tap, and I'm saying one life per week on various topics from all three books. And again, I'm saying the realignment is for family dynamics, pre-retirement mode, self-care, and all that. Today, I don't know, I woke up very early, and I was just, how do I explain it? I was just falling asleep in church, which is not like me. Like, it's just, I was so tired. And then I came on today. I didn't have my class with Pastor P, so I had to wait. And I'm like, the way I slept a little bit, the way I felt so exhausted, I thought, oh, I wish I didn't have a program. So that was confirmation to me that the decision that I made yesterday was a good one. Why? Because at 11 a.m. on a Saturday morning, it's quiet in my house. Like, everybody is sleeping and it's quiet. So when I do my program, I get it out of the way. I have the rest of the day for myself. I have the Sunday to myself, and that is okay. And during the week, I can focus on some of my projects and my courses and my plans and whatever that I'm preparing. Mind you, because the thing about it is that you work, the 9 to 5 job, and then you're trying to do all these things in the evening. It's been exciting. I've done it, and I've never ever thought that, you know, I'm not saying that, oh, I've been doing it and I'm so tired. No, that's not, I've enjoyed doing it, but I've realized that, how when we say, when you're making a decision, pray to God, and then there's confirmation or whatever. Today was confirmation to me that, oh, yes, this will be good for me when I do my program Saturday morning, and then that's it, you are done. Yes. And then also it will give people chance, people who are free, like our sister Aisha, she's having to be up at this time, and Sister Abigail watching us. But if we're on at that time and they're available, they can come on and listen in too. So all around is going to work. So I'm glad for that. So, I've appreciated all of the support that you guys have given me. I've appreciated all the support that you guys have given me. I don't know, see, na me person me saba bio, and so me click comments ne so a na kwasia no comments na beto nti afi me who said ya ebe delete it. Yeah, so I appreciate you all. I really thank you for always coming on to support the program. So when we come back, I'll put a poster out when we are back next year, God willing, will be on at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So that will be 1 o'clock Eastern. Yes. So with that, I trust that you all take good care of yourselves and have a good Easter. Christmas, not Easter. Yes, don't overspend. Take care of yourselves, rest and relax and enjoy yourselves. Okay. Miss Sage, Ajuodo, Mr. G, Sister Aisha, Miss Abigail, thank you all so much for coming. God bless you all. Yes, happy holidays, Ajua. Yeah, see you guys, okay? Thank you so much. It's been a slide, so we'll be back. All the best to you, okay? And if it takes my fancy, I can come on and talk any time. But at this point in time, the break is in full force. Okay, take care. Bye-bye. Love you all.